All right, everybody, welcome back to the Camper Report Show. And my guest tonight is Matt Oles, the new general manager of East to West RV. Matt, always great to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. We got a new position at East West. Give us a little bit about your background, so for folks that may not know who you are.
Hey, thanks, Bob. So I started out in the RV industry on the retail side of the business, just shy of 15 years ago. Been in the wholesale side a little over 10 years, and been at East to West going a little over 2 years, and just got promoted to the general manager position January 1st.
Well, you're new to that position, and East to West is a relatively new company. Tell us how old they are and how they got started.
Yeah, so East to West was started by Pete Legal's daughter, Lisa Legal Reese, which I think we're going on just shy of being a 5-year-old company. Started out with a stick and tin brand called Della Terra, which is the brand I manage. We've gotten into laminated trailers. We got 2 new fifth wheel brands that have been out for going on a year, 2 years, and we also just entered into the Class C market in the last year. So got a lot of exciting things going on at East to West.
Yeah, I found that an interesting addition to the product line, the Class C motorhome, because you started out, like I say, with the travel trailers and fifth wheel. What made you enter the motorized market so quickly after the company was formed?
Good question. That's Lisa and Pete that kind of made those decisions, but I think it's just progression of the brands and what we're building here at East to West. So a lot of our business model is, pretty simple. Like, we're going to be entering a lot of the different segments of the RV industry, but we're coming in with less floor plans, less options. We're coming out with only the best selling floor plans. We're not offering a lot of options to the customers and the dealers. So we're trying to make it streamlined for production friendly, quality, all the things that kind of tie in with that. So the motorized segment, I would say, was just a progression of where we were going. We kind of started hitting all those towable segments. And that was kind of just the natural progression, to the next phase.
That's actually a good strategy to have something for everybody. When you look at your products and when you look at who's buying the products, what are you seeing in terms of your customer base?
Oh, so customer base has been a little different in the last couple of years. Obviously, with the COVID, I wouldn't even call it the COVID era. I guess you just call it the COVID era, or COVID, people call them the COVID buyers. It's like people that have never camped before. We got a lot of new first-time buyers, especially in the travel trailer segment, for somebody that already has a tow vehicle and they can tow something that exists without, needing to upgrade to a truck or just buy a motorhome. But I think it's people just discovering this industry and what we're doing. And it's always been here, but I think COVID just kind of exposed it. Somebody that didn't want to go get on a plane or get on a cruise and go travel. They wanted to go social distance. And I think what's awesome about it is a lot of people got hooked on it. We have a travel trailer personally with my family. We also have a Class C motorhome. We've been campers for years. And even I've experienced it. I have friends from college and high school that bought campers, and we go camping together now. We're going on a couple of years, during the COVID lockdown. I live in Michigan, just over the border from Indiana. And especially during 2020, so many things were locked down, you had nothing you could do. So a bunch of friends bought campers and we went camping together. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. And I think we're going to see that in the shows. I know we've got our Boston show coming up this weekend, and we're gearing the show towards that exact audience, the first-time buyers and the people who are looking to become first-time buyers. So it's been a nice wave for the last couple of years, but I think that's going to maybe double itself over the next couple of years, because now it's so popular and getting so much attention in the media.
You bet.
What do you look for in a dealer? There's a lot, we all know this industry. We got a lot of manufacturers, we got a lot of product brands. Dealers have a lot of choices. So how do you
There's a lot of brands,
Yeah.
There's awfully a lot of brands for the amount of RVs we truly ship as an industry, which is fun, right? So we're pretty strategic with our partners. We're blessed. We got some really good dealer partners. I mean, we're big on quality. We try to build it from, I mean, you've been to our facility. The last time we had a in-person open house was at East to West. You've seen the facilities. I mean, they're 100,000 square foot. They're amazing buildings, but it's all about implementing it at the line. I feel there's too many companies. They want to fix things after the fact. We got these PDI centers, we got this and that. Yeah, we got a PDI center that we send stuff to with corporate, but we make it right from the beginning. We make sure we implement that strategy on the line, and literally from the top down, from Lisa and Pete all the way down, quality is embedded into our culture. I mean, every unit we build every day is walked by a salesman. So that unit cannot ship to a dealer until we at least touch it, feel it, go through it, and make sure we feel like it gets the stamp of approval to go to that dealer. And we're starting to build some decent volume. So it's an investment on our part, but with those limited options, limited floor plans, production friendly environment, and obviously great facilities, I feel we're building a really nice unit, and it is trickling down to the retail. You're getting these people that are buying these things. They're having a good experience. They're telling their friends about it. My best friend and his family, his wife and family, we sold him one of our laminated trailers this past fall. I actually delivered it to his house, and I can promise you, I felt really good about bringing that unit to him because I knew they were going to have a good experience. So,
well, that's a very interesting statement, Matt, because there are some companies and there are some products that you would not want to deliver to your friend's house.
Oh yeah, I mean,
we know that.
These past 18 months, going on 2 years now, it was a race to the finish to get stuff built because sales are so robust. Well, I can promise you, there were some times that we dropped production rates, and we dropped the hammer on our production team and said, look, this is not acceptable quality. We have a percentage of our units that go to our corporate Forest River PDI center too. So we get reports weekly on units, but I mean, we will drop rates and we will pull production back to make sure that we're building the right product. And don't get me wrong, we're humans. These are human built products.
Right.
We're not perfect. And when we do have an issue, I can promise you, we take care of the customer and the dealer. I mean, we've brought units back. We've gone above and beyond dealers. Like I've jumped in my truck on a Thursday afternoon, thrown a fridge in the back and drove it to a dealer 4 hours away to make sure that customer got their fridge so they could go camping that weekend. I mean, it's all about those little things that add up.
Well, but that's why you're the general manager now. From the first day that I met you, you were one of the hardest working sales reps. You took an interest in every customer that came through your units in the show. I've watched you work in the shows. You reached out to me one time when you knew I was going to be in Elkhart and say, please come over and let me show you the plant. You were very proud of the plant. Come over and do it. So it's built into your fabric of how you approach the industry and how you've approached the customers. Tell me a little bit more about.
I appreciate that.
Well, no, you've earned it quite well. Tell me a little bit more about the PDI and sending it over to Forest River. So is that a step in the QC process that it takes it away from your factory to someplace else, and then they go over, so you got a whole nother set of eyes looking at the manufactured product prior to going to the dealer?
Yeah, absolutely. So as that unit's being built down the line, there's a set of QCs that touch it, inspect it, stamp it before it's ready to green and be ready to go. Well, there's a percentage of units that we send per week to this corporate PDI facility. I don't know which ones they are. My plant manager doesn't know our QCs. They're randomly picked units. We ship them off to our PDI center in Goshen, which goes through obviously a super thorough check. And they check for codes, they check for everything you can think of. And we're pretty blessed. Like we just got our year-end PDI report, and we ranked pretty high within Forest River. Even with Rockwood Flagstaff and some brands that have been doing this stuff for, 30, 40 years, some crazy amount of time. So it makes us feel really good that we're doing things right. Now, in some of these plants, we're startups, right? We're running lower volumes, we're starting to progress and build a brand, but it all starts from the beginning. And the great thing is it's a culture that we've built from the top down, whether it's our plant manager, whether it's our QCs, whether it's the line workers, whether it's salesmen. I mean, everybody knows the expectations, and they also know, like, hey, if we have to pull back on production, that's money out of your check. So they want to do a good job. They want to run numbers. They want to get paid, just like sales guys want to get paid. We want to ship units. But at the end of the day, as this industry starts to shift and sales start to shift, I want to be one of those brands on a dealer's lot that says, hey, these guys have done a good job. Yeah, they're not perfect, but when there was an issue, they took care of their customers. And when things start to slow down, we want to be that brand that continues to grow with our dealers.
Well, and that's also another very valid point. We know they're handmade, and I
Right.
think the approach, I'd like to see the industry as a whole manage the customer expectations better. It's okay to say that, every once in a while, we're going to have a bad unit. Every once in a while, a component is going to break because it came from a supplier. But I think with all these new RVers that were coming into the industry, we have got to manage the expectations of the consumer. They're coming into this with their eyes wide open. We all know that people buy these things on emotion. They love it. They heard their neighbors do it. They've seen the kids down the block have it. But let's be honest with them and say, look, sometimes it's going to be a problem, which is one of the reasons why we certainly, in our dealer organization, emphasize people buying from the local dealer. You want to
100%. We're big on that as well.
Talk about your theory on that a little bit.
So, I mean, not trying to go off on a rant, but like I had a buddy who bought a camper, great friend of mine, wanted to get into camping. COVID hit, right? So he bought a used single axle unit. I went and helped him check it out, got a really good deal, and they got hooked on camping. Well, he doesn't even own the toolbox. I don't even think he knows how to run a screwdriver. So
that's me. That's me.
I'm kind of dreading him going camping with me because I'm like, all right, when I go camping, I'm there with the wife and 3 girls and the dog. And half the time I'm chasing the dog around, making sure he's not eating stuff he's not supposed to. And I'm going to have my buddy over there who doesn't know how to run a camper. Well, of course, buying a used trailer just off Facebook Marketplace, like he's not educated. So of course I had to teach him how to use it. Well, they got hooked, and they actually bought an East to West Alta, which is our laminate trailer, actually this past fall. But kind of to your point, like what we're doing and what we're experiencing is, there's a huge influx of buyers, right? We've been really strategic with our dealer partners to make sure we're doing really thorough PDIs. Like we'll jump in. We understand that there's times that's overwhelming for the dealers. We'll jump in, help take care of those customers. A couple of unique things we do as sales reps and stuff when we're traveling to our dealers, we're not just going there to sell units and train salespeople. We're meeting with service managers and we're doing service surveys. So we're meeting with the service managers saying, hey, what can East to West do better? I'll meet with the service manager personally, when I had a territory, and the service manager is like, I haven't had a sales rep come up to me in years. And I said, hey, we're different than everybody else. Like, what can we do to help you? And they appreciate it. And dude, it could even be the fact that they didn't have a point of contact and they were contacting the wrong person and they're getting frustrated saying, hey, I'm not getting an answer. Well, you're contacting the wrong guy. Oh, well, thank you for that information. Yeah. And one unique thing that Lisa's done a great job with is one thing we're doing a little different than a lot of divisions and a lot of companies is we have individual service and parts reps per brand. So they specialize in their brand. So you're not calling into East to West as a dealer and trying to get support on our motorhome, our 2 fifth wheels, our laminate trailer, and our traditional metal sided trailer, and trying to get an answer out of, for 5 brands with one person. They say, hey, you got to call this guy. He only handles Delaterra. Call this guy. He handles Alta. This lady handles Tandera and stuff. So what's great for them is with the limited amount of floor plans, and we train them just like we do salespeople. So they understand the product changes. When we make model changes, they're in tune. We go out and train them, make sure they understand what's going on with the product. They touch and feel it, and their offices are in the plant, which is incredible. So they're an expert on the brand, just like we are as sales guys.
So that's a great review. And our guest tonight has been Matt Oles, General Manager for East to West. Matt, it sounds like you really got the ball rolling over there, and I can see why the sales are going up and why our dealers like the brand a lot. So
Yeah.
Best of luck in your new role as GM. So now you get all the issues but you get all the opportunities. And I know you
Yeah,
got,
no, it's been fun.
yeah, and I know you've got the work ethic to it. So, all right, Matt, thank you very much. We will catch up with you down the road.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Bye.